All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As usual, let's dive straight into it. As the title suggests, I believe that in 2024, gold could hit $4,000, silver could hit $40, and also by 2026, gold could hit $8,000, and silver could hit $80. In this video, I'm going to explain how I came to these conclusions. If you're into gold, if you're into silver, you probably already know a lot of the recent news that provide a bullish case for gold and silver. So I'm not going to jump into that too far. I also have a lot of videos that I've done in the past kind of going into that. For this video, I'm going to more so look at the charts for gold and silver, as well as the historical patterns and the pattern that I'm noticing when it comes to the chart for gold and silver. All right, so I'm on goldprice.com and I'm looking at the gold chart and the silver chart going back for 20 years. The reason that I'm looking at 20 years is because I kind of want to go back looking at the last crisis, which is the '08 to kind of, I guess you could say, 2012, more so '06 to 2012 financial crisis that we had during that time period. That was the last bull market, I guess you can say, full bull market for gold and silver. And I do expect prices to at least retrace to those points. So if we're looking at silver right now, silver's in between $20 and $25. So let's just say right now silver's at roughly $25. It peaked at nearly $50 at around 2011, 2012-ish, as you see right here in the chart. So alone for silver, that would be a double. If we go back and look at what happened during 2008, 2009, which is where I think we are right now in the silver market, where at least where we were matches where we were last year in the silver market. In '08, when it was down, if we go 2 years forward, 2 years, it looks like the price has doubled. So if we were to go from right here, 1 year would be 2023, 2 years would be 2024. We could potentially see a double if the same thing happened again that happened during the last financial crisis. Like I said, if you guys are familiar with the current news articles and what's going on in the world as far as bullish cases for silver and gold, you probably know why I come to this expectation. So with that alone, I do expect a double within the next, I guess, based off of where it's already happened in the chart. From this point in the chart right here, 2 years would be 2024. So I do expect silver to double from that $20 value, which is how I get the $40 silver value. If we come over here and look at gold, gold ended up hitting around $2,000 around the Great Recession. Right now, gold is back at that price. But if we look at the bottom here, which I think we could have possibly hit again right here for gold. If we look at that bottom, which happened around 2009, if we go 2 years, 1, 2 to about 2011, we will see that the price went from about 700 or 800 to about 1,500. So that's also about a double. If the same thing that happened during the Great Recession happens, I expect a double to happen within 2 years. So the peak that happened already happened here for 23, 22. So in 24, we would expect a double based off of what happened last time. So a double from, I would say, about 1,600 will put us right above $3,000. That's kind of how I get to my $4,000 price target. Also, we see a lot of volatility right here during this moment. I expect a lot of volatility again, so these numbers could be slightly higher, just as they could be slightly higher than what I just mentioned. So that's how I get to the $40 silver price and the $4,000 gold price as far as here right now in 2024. Moving forward to 2026, if we go back to these same charts, going from 2011, moving forward 2 more years, we went from about 1,400, another rise of about 50%. So that could take us from 4,000 to right about $6,000. With what's going on with the world, like I said, if you're keeping an eye on the news, if you're familiar with what's going on with the US dollar and everything, I expect it to be more volatile than last time. I expect it to double. That's once again how I end up getting to the $8,000 number that I have. Plus, I want to show you guys some other information when it comes to that in just a second. If we look at the 2011, from 2011 to 2012, it looked like silver, let's see here, 2011. during a portion of this year, right up in here, you could get it for about maybe $25, and it went up to almost 50. So it doubled again. So within that second 2 year span, after the first 2 year doubling, we saw another doubling of the price. So that's how I go from the expected double to $40 when it comes to silver, and then the next double to $80 when it comes to silver. All right. Outside of this, I've also noticed that in other currencies, other patterns are starting to already take place when it comes to these numbers doubling or reaching new levels and new highs. The price that you guys see on the screen right now is in US dollars. I want to go to different currencies so you guys can kind of see what's going on around the world. So we're in USD. Let's just pick something that we all know about, the Chinese yuan. All right, so as far as silver goes, the overall chart for the Chinese yuan kind of matches what we see in our silver charts. But when we look at gold, gold for the US dollar was about the same right now as it was during the recession that happened in the late 2000s, at around $2,000. But if we look in the Chinese yuan prices, we see that gold is about 50% higher right now today than it was during that Great Recession. So just off of that alone, you should expect gold to go up at least 50% in price as far as US dollars. Of course, different currencies have different values based off what's going on in the currency in the countries and what's going on in their culture and what all is happening around the world. But just notice how much this price has in the gold value has increased in the Chinese dollars compared to what we just saw in the US dollars. I want to keep this going. As a matter of fact, for silver is more so the same in most places because a lot of it is used for industry. So I'm just going to focus on gold for right now. So let's see here. Go into euros. So we were at, let's say, about $1,300 in euros. Now is at about $2,000. That's about another 50% increase that we're seeing right now in the price as far as all-time highs. Like I said, right now US dollars it's about the same, but and this is another major world currency where we're seeing gold at about 50% higher than its all-time highs. Let's see what else do we have here. A lot of stuff going on with Iran. I just want to see. Oh man, so it's 2007. This is crazy. It's almost like a parabolic chart. Is I don't know the numbers, but it's probably thousands of times higher than it was during the recession. Let me find another country. Let's see what Russia has. I'll go to Japan. Okay, so it's about 3 times as much right now in Japan. The gold price, Mexican peso. It's about 2 times the price currently. Russian ruble. It's about 3 or 4 times the price. 4 times the price would take it to 8x, which is, like I said, right now, I do believe it could get 4x in US dollars within the next 4 years. So like I said, let me go refresh you guys on what we saw with the US dollar chart. We're at about the same levels that we were during the Great Recession. All those charts I just showed you, for the most part, the average country, gold is worth a lot more right now than it was 10 years ago versus being the same. And I also understand that even though there's charts and my beliefs and other people have the belief that these metals, gold and silver, could currently go up, a lot of people don't necessarily want to invest right now because they're at an all-time high, and a lot of people like to get in when things are low. So if you aren't looking at investing or purchasing or interested at all in gold and silver, I would definitely say take a look at palladium and platinum. This is not investment advice or anything like that. I'm not like a financial advisor. I just want to show you guys what's going on and give you guys some of the knowledge that I have. All right, so right now I'm on JM Bullion. This is what I usually use for my charts. I really like their site for charts. I do order from their site also sometimes. Like I said, none of this is financial advice, but I do like to use their site. So platinum is at about half of its all-time highs. Currently at about $900 right now, about $1,000 once you're purchasing. If you were to include a premium, that's still about half of its all-time highs. If we see here, its all-time high is about $2,000. Prior to about 2006, 2007, historically speaking, platinum traded at about twice the value of gold. Currently, it's trading at about half the value of gold. So it's at its lowest prices since around the time of the Great Recession and around the time of the pandemic peak. Platinum is at around the same prices that it had during its same low prices that it had during those times. So for right now, As far as historically speaking, it seems that platinum could at least double to get back towards its historical highs, or it will have to quadruple to get to twice the price of gold, which that's also where it would normally be historically. As I just showed you, the price of platinum is currently at about $900 to $1,000 once you include the premiums to purchase. But also, right now, according to the World Platinum Council, the all-in sustainable cost to actually produce platinum in mines is about $900. So I do believe that we are potentially at a floor when it comes to the platinum price, because platinum is currently selling for about the cost that it takes for miners to mine it. And this is the estimated cost for the average large mine. Smaller miners typically have to pay more. So right now you can actually purchase platinum for a cheaper price than many miners can actually produce it for. Moving on to palladium. Over the past few years, palladium has had a peak of about 3 times the price of platinum. Like I said, this is in recent years, over the past 3 to 5 years. The price has tumbled recently over the past 2 years to about the same as the price of platinum. Being that platinum and palladium can be used interchangeably, and platinum is at a floor on its price, or at least a believed floor on its price to me, I do believe that palladium is also at a floor on its price. As I just stated, if palladium was to get to 3x the cost of platinum again, of course that would be a 3x in price. If palladium, if platinum was to double or 4x, I expect the price of palladium to at least follow the price of platinum, if not to go higher, meaning that the metals can be used interchangeably. Also, just giving a little bit of scientific background to palladium and platinum. Palladium has a lower melting point than platinum. Therefore, it's easier to work with, easier to deal with, easier to manipulate for certain applications. Looking at this Reuters article, and I came to Reuters because I couldn't find that much information as far as the cost to mine palladium. Being that palladium isn't as popular as all the other metals that I mentioned in this video, there isn't as much widespread data about it on the internet. But I was able to find this information from Reuters. It covers the company, if I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Seabain Stillwater. Seabain Stillwater is the largest primary producer of platinum, second largest primary producer of palladium, and third largest primary producer of gold. I think that's going to be for the US. I'm not sure that could be for the world. According to this Reuters article, let's see, I found it a few minutes ago. Let me see if I can find the current cost that they have to produce palladium, being that they're the second largest producer. So it looks like their current all-in sustainable cost, the cost for them to bring it to market, is at about $1,700. So right now, the cost of palladium is about 45% off when it comes to actual cost of mining. So that means right now it's actually best for a lot of miners to kind of stop producing palladium altogether, because it'll be cheaper to them to just buy it off the market than to actually produce more. For that reason, I do expect the price to go up a whole lot. I do know that the price for palladium and platinum right now are both down, because they're primarily used in catalytic converters and automotive ICE vehicles that run on gas, petroleum, etc., diesel. And with the new EV push, a lot of people are scared to invest in these metals. I do not personally think that the EV push is going to happen as fast as people think. And also, along with the EV movement, I do not think that battery EVs are efficient enough for trucks and large scale vehicles, or large scale any type of large transportation method that's going to be moving a lot of weight, solely because the battery packs would need to take up a lot of space, and it would take a lot of time to recharge. If you had a company such as a bus company, a flight company, a construction company, even if you did a trucking company moving back and forth across the country, moving back and forth across the country, you don't necessarily have the time to sit and charge. So I don't think that battery EVs are the best for that. Hydrogen may be the next use, may be what comes in the future when it comes to that. And if that does happen, we're going to see a lot more palladium and platinum being used for hydrogen fuel cell production, hydrogen electrolysis, than we're actually seeing using catalytic converters. So I do think the price of palladium and platinum in the future, not necessarily in the 1, 2, 3 year time span, but maybe in the 10, 20-year time span, could be blown tremendously out of the water. And in the near future, still have a 2, 3, 4, 5x in price, just based off of what's going on right now in the world. With that being said, that for the most part wraps up this video. If you guys have any opinions on gold, silver, platinum, palladium, make sure you leave it down below. I do know that there are other precious metals to invest in. I'm probably going to do some more videos on those in the future. As of right now, this video is for that. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. If YouTube has taken you off of the subscription list, make sure you resubscribe to the channel. Hit the like button if you learned anything or enjoyed this video. Make sure you share to your friends, and I'll see you guys on the next video.